Yeah, obviously pleased with the outcome. Really thought our first half was the best first half we played. OD and special teams combined, 30 minutes. Moved the ball offensively, had 215 yards of offense in the first half. Didn't go 3-and-out, didn't go backwards, didn't get penalized, stayed ahead of the chains. Even when we didn't score, we ran 5, 6, 7 plays, so we pushed the field position in our direction, and we gave our defense a break. Obviously, our defense was fantastic in the first half. They gave up 3 points in the half. Anytime you give 3 points in a half, you're going to be in good shape for that half. Akron's offense with their quarterback is scary every down. They got 3 really good wideouts that really catch the ball, and we were really good the whole game in our coverages, and really good job tackling the whole game. And then ST obviously had a good first half. We make a field goal at the end of the half, and we to go up and 17-3. Dom Zobin was phenomenal the whole game. And we're trying to play field position. We're trying to shorten the field for our offense. We're trying to lengthen the field for our defense. And Dom did it pretty single-handedly. And the offense and defense pitched in. But our first touchdown drive's 39 yards because we have an incredible punt and good coverage. And we flip the field, and then we get a 3-and-out, including a sack. So now they're really pinned back, and they punt it, and the Frizz gets a good return. And now we got a short field, and now we score a touchdown. Well, that's how it works. It's not – it's we always talk about being teams. So the first half was excellent. Second half, special teams continue to be good. Offense not as efficient in the second half. Some of it we're trying to use some clock, obviously, in the fourth quarter, but didn't had a chance, had a big play, had a guy downfield, but defense was really good again. And stop after stop after stop. Frizz McKee was incredible the whole game. Coverage, man, zone, punt returning. They had a chance at 20-3 to get it to 20-10, and Frizz punches the ball out. Extra effort play on a slant pass, and he's a deep third corner, and he punches the ball out. So then Quez makes a great pick and had some pressure on the play, had some good coverage on the play. He got to his fourth option on the play, and Quez read it, and then Frizz cuts off their quarterback. And so it was starting defense scored 7, Akron starting offense scored 3. When you do that, you're going to have a great chance to win a football game. And then, they put a drive together against our twos late, which was fine. Our twos actually did some nice things. They didn't do enough nice things. But so really good team victory, really good first half, total first half, trying to get the point. We put 60 minutes again. We're close. But penalties are down. Mistakes are down. Going backwards is down. We don't give up the big plays again on defense. We play solid special teams. That's how you play winning football. And, you're up, 27-3 at one point on the road against a team that, lost by 6 points to Kent State and lost by 3 points to Bowling Green and had Central Michigan beat. So in their 4 conference games, I know they're 0-4, but they had Central 21-21 and had the ball down there with less than 2 minutes going, fumbled, and Central scooped and scored. So they've played teams very tough. 3 of their 4 games have been down to the fourth quarter, and this one obviously wasn't.
After a game like that, I know you can't do anything about the schedule, but after a game like that, would you prefer to just play on Saturday again to keep the momentum going, and how do you adjust to that?
Yeah, but time of year, you get a couple extra days rest for everybody. Everybody's played a lot of snaps, so I'm good with it. It is what it is. It doesn't really matter. Schedule. But, yeah, if you're in a good rhythm, you'd like to keep kind of staying in schedule, but I'll take the couple extra days off. The nice thing is we got some younger coaches. I'm not one of them, but got some younger kids. They'll get to do trick-or-treating, because we have more than enough time to prepare for the next one. You got, 3 extra whole days to prepare. So, and then our kids that have played, some of our kids played 500 snaps. They're fine, but they could use the extra time off to mentally and physically recharge. We've played a lot of football.
Coach, how'd you guys come out of this one injury-wise?
So far, there's a couple MRIs, but so far so good. We'll see as the week goes on. We'll get some results tomorrow probably, but it wasn't too. They threw it around a lot, so it was maybe a little less physically taxing on our defense than all the pounding. So it was more 7-on-7-ish at times out there. So not too bad.
Kind of a two-parter. What kind of adjustments, if any, did you need to make with Jalen out, and how did it feel to get in that long pass to Mac Hippenhammer. I know last year there was a lot of big plays, downfield plays, and that sort of thing, and it's been a while coming to get that big strike like that.
Yeah, no, it's nice. We had him early, didn't hit him. It's going to happen sometimes. Not then we had him again and hit him. Obviously, huge play on that drive that led to the field goal right before the half. We also hit cold iron on a wheeled route, which was nice for another 43-yard chunk play. And we got to continue to get more and more chunk plays. If you're gonna score points in this day and age of football, you got to get chunk plays. So we had two big ones Saturday, which and both of them were 10 points. One was a field goal, one was a touchdown. So we got to continue to manufacture, find ways to get chunk plays. So it was awesome to see. Yes.
Coach, what can you tell us about Ohio? Like, what are their challenges?
Yeah, no, they're really, 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 really good on offense. The quarterback is completing almost 70% of his passes through, was it 8 weeks? Maybe 9 weeks? 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Yeah, 8 weeks. So he's like 68.4% completion rate on the year, which, again, that includes Penn State, Iowa State. They include, so they've been scoring points in bunches, and they've got 5, 6, 7 receivers that, and they throw the ball to their tight ends, they throw the ball to their backs. Both their backs have a bunch of catches. They just very efficient. When you're completing 7 out of every 10 passes for 8 weeks, you're insanely efficient throwing the football. They're also good throwing the football down the field. So, again, we like to play our soft coverage and die a slow death. That's kind of who we are. And most of the time it's pretty effective, but it's going to be harder against these guys because they are so efficient throwing the ball underneath, but they also really efficient throwing the ball at the top and making big plays, and we can't give them big plays. They run the ball. They got 2 very capable backs. They run their zone play that they've always run. They've run it for years and are really good at it. So that they're always pretty balanced. They've been a little less balanced this year, I don't think, because they haven't run the ball as well. I think it's because no one can stop them throwing the football. Like they're throwing it's the amount of yardage and points that they're coming up with is really, really good. The quarterbacks, like I said, he completed 70% of passes, and he had a 61-yard scramble 2 weeks ago. Like, he's fast. He's similar to the kid last week. He's like a straight line runner. He's tall like irons. He's really fast like irons. And they run some option. They do have some design quarterback runs. They've always had design quarterback runs against us that they, kind of quarterback draws or whatever, quarterback counters that they do. So they're really good. Defensively, they started the year slow, and they've gotten better and better. Once conference plays hit, they've really, after the Kent State game, they've been significantly improved. The last 3 weeks on defense, they play really hard. They always bring a ton of pressure, zone and man. They always junk the front. There's a ton of movement up front, and their kids play really hard on defense every week. They play really hard. So they're going to come after you, and they're going to play really hard, and they're going to force you to make plays under duress, and they're going to force you to block movement because that's what they do. So they've gotten, the last 3 weeks, they've gotten better. As the year went on, they've got incrementally better and better on that side of the ball. They gave up a lot of points and yardage early. In the last few weeks, it's not, they held Western down. They slowed Akron down. They did some better things. So it'll be interesting to see what they do against Buffalo. But they've scored so many points so quickly. They've played from leads, and they've had leads, and they've done a good job. And then they found ways. Last week against Northern was tied fourth quarter, and they found a way to come out ahead on a victory.
Has there been, aside from the throws that Brett can make, has there been any kind of an adjustment process going forward with Brett? I imagine that it opens the playbook a little bit more with his experience and being able to adjust at the line.
Yeah, no, obviously he's played a lot of football for us, and week 1 he practiced part of the time against Western. He was still, so as he continues to get more comfortable, and the extra time this week will allow us to get some more stuff put in and get better rhythm like we've talked about. So yeah, these extra couple days I think help us in that standpoint too. Just with Brett coming back, we haven't had a lot of practice time with him, and so it's definitely be a benefit, yes.
Coach, something unique, you've got a couple of former assistants on the other side of the field now with OU. What kind of challenges does that bring, just because they know what you want to do, that you know what they want to do, all of that?
Yeah, big thing is you got to be careful with your signals, obviously, because they know your signals. And then they know how we do certain things, so they have some inside information about, how we play defense. They understand that, so they can share that with their offensive guys. We've been playing OU a lot of years. OU's offense guys are pretty good, and not that extra information won't help them, it will, but they got a pretty good handle on what you know, they do some different things against us every year that's based on what we do. They know, you know what I mean? They've gone up against, you know, their head guy's the OC, and he's been there a while, and he's really, really good. He's been really good as the OC, and he's still, so they'll know certain things that we do and like to do, but we're so dang simple on defense, everybody knows what we, you know. Sometimes teams scan us, and I laugh because I'm like, we're just standing there like ducks anyways. We're trying to play solid football. And so, but again, yeah, and then they're not really running anything on their defense that we do. It's totally different, so there's no carryover there. They're running the stuff that they do, not stuff that I do, so.
We're 2 weeks into having Brett back. How's it feel? Any more of a rhythm to the passing game?
Yeah, no, it definitely feels good, you know, having Brett back, you know, and, you know, I'm so appreciative of what AV's been able to do for us. And, you know, he was kind of put in a tough position for him. So for him to, you know, give it his all week in and week out, you know, we appreciate that a lot. And for Brett getting back, you know, for him it's just, you know, a little rusty, but, you know, it's really good to have him back and, you know, airing it out a little bit more now. So it's really good for that. So,
Mac, what's your goals for the rest of the season?
I think where I'm at in my career, you know, obviously we're not having the season we want to have, and, you know, for me, I'm just trying to take these last 3 weeks or 4 weeks or, you know, however much we have, and just really, you know, just enjoy being around my friends and my teammates, and that's what keeps me going. And, you know, that's the thing I look forward to the most when I come to the facility every day, is just seeing my teammates, seeing their, you know, facial expressions and interacting with them. And, you know, that's what I'm really just focused on right now. So,
Mac, have you had a chance really to scout much with OU yet? I know obviously they play Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Are you guys just getting together on Tuesday to watch?
Tuesday it'll be definitely a good chance for us to, you know, because we'll be able to watch the game and stuff like that. So, and, you know, kind of treating this like a bye week, kind of, we have a little bit more time to prepare. So I think we'll be in good shape come next Tuesday. So
I know there have been some close calls over the first half of the season with getting the ball to you on some of those deep patterns and everything.
Yeah.
How'd that feel last week to catch one in stride and be
Yeah,
able to take off with it?
No, it definitely felt good. Like I said, like you just said, there's been kind of quite a few, you know, deep balls that we've missed and that we'd like to have back. But, you know, running under that one felt pretty good. And just like I said, having Brett back and just being able to do those things and, you know, opening up more plays, it felt good. You know, getting on the edge and just running and catching. So, yeah.
Ohio, kind of one of Miami's bigger rivals. What does this game mean in that locker room?
Yeah, it definitely means a lot. You know, kind of like last year, we kind of just strode in there thinking things were just going to be, you know, a cakewalk. But obviously that wasn't the case, and you obviously can't do that with any team. But you know, it's a little bit more personal, like you said, because it's a rivalry. So, you know, like we said, we have 10 days to prepare for it. So I think we'll be in good shape come Tuesday.
You talked about how you're going to be looking at the last few games of the season. How would you describe the mood of the team right now going into this season-ending stretch?
Yeah, so I think at this point we're fighting for a bowl game right now and one more game to stay together. But I think the last stretch of the last 3 weeks have been rough as a team. But I think this win against Akron kind of really is helping us kind of like come back as one and finish the season strong. So I think I like where we're at right now as a team. Just being in a better place as we were than the past 3 weeks. So I think this win will really help us in terms of momentum in this last 3 weeks of the season. So.